That's it.
Hey, all right.
All right.
All right.
All right. All right.
Are you in your green circle?
I am within my green circle because I zoomed in. Take a minute.
Okay.
What am I looking for?
Don't know.
I'm looking for Hasbro BS. I warned people, I don't plan on swearing into the podcast or during this video, but
Podcast.
I might. Yeah, that's old term. That's
we were just talking about our podcast.
Exactly. I don't. Yeah. So this is the Hasbro meeting. I don't normally. I'm going to stop it before I even start. I don't normally. Shut up, lady. There we go. I don't normally express opinions on Magic the Gathering. I've been playing the game for 30 years, and honestly, I approach it from the standpoint of I still have more to learn about the game. That's kind of ironic that I would make a channel where I do deck techs and stuff then. But you get the point. I mean, I look at this, and so this is an opinion piece. It is strictly my opinion. I'm listening to what Hasbro had to say at their dumpster fire. Their fireside chat, I guess is what they were calling it. Which was purportedly on Magic, but then turned into D&D and something else. I'm going to listen to it. I'm going to have you see my reactions. I don't know that there's necessarily going to be that interesting, so I won't be publishing this. So if you think it's interesting and you want to share it with somebody, that's great. This video I'm going to ask you to share. Normally I say like, comment, subscribe. Forget all that. Watch it or don't. If you do like it, send it to somebody else. Magic 30th has just been a complete fiasco and just a horror show. I am getting off-screen direction. Anyhow.
It was... Fix this.
It's
over
fixed.
there.
All right. Anyhow.
Pull that out of there.
Instead of this being a product to celebrate for everybody, it's something for what... You guys already know what this is. So I want to hear what Hasbro has to say about it, except they're not going to discuss that. Anyhow, I'm late to the party on this one. A million other people have their hot takes on it. I'm just going to start this call, and I will cut it down to just my reactions to what they're saying.
Could you please update us on Hasbro's kind of branded entertainment strategy, and how is that different from what that strategy was before?
Yeah, well, hey, first off, thanks so much for having us. It's great to be on and be able to share a little bit of insight on the company, and particularly one of our favorite brands, Magic the Gathering. I think Cynthia will have a wealth of information to share on that. So in terms of our corporate strategy, the new strategy that we rolled out in October we call Brand Blueprint 2.0. It's a continuation and an evolution of the successful blueprint strategy that we've been deploying for a little over a decade, which is all around the concept of engaging and surrounding the consumer with a host of great play and storytelling experiences that build our brands, build our relationship with the consumer, and help us build a profitable and healthy business. Yeah,
okay, wait. So purportedly, they're trying to engage with the customer base and build up a healthy and profitable business. That's that may be what they want, but they've gone about a terrible way in implementing it. Because so my wife was just in here and we had a discussion about this. It's sad that I didn't have the camera on. She played devil's advocate. She's from outside the Magic world. She's an NPC. So she said we don't know what their numbers are because we're not privy to everything that they have to do. Everything that they have, all the information they have. Okay, that's fine. But we, in the gaming community, in the local game stores, can see that they do not respond to customer feedback. They do not... I want to put caveats on it, and I just skip through all of their disclaimers. I want to put disclaimers on this, but again, at the beginning of this, I said this is an opinion piece, It is drawn from my personal experience with the game and so on. And what I have seen over the months, over the past few years, I think I have a display. We can look at the products that they're putting out. And if you're a Magic player, you know the same feelings. I'm assuming you have the same feelings I have. They don't listen to the player base. And I understand they shouldn't on every single issue, but there's what's called the law of large numbers. And if the majority of the people are telling you something, there's probably something there. There is probably something to that. You don't listen to each person on an individual basis, but all these things that they have to collect data, they seem to be ignoring or going against. I mean, the Magic 30th product is a perfect example of that. But anyhow, let's get back to the call.
On the pivot on the strategy are in a couple areas. First off, we're shifting from a bit more of a breadth strategy with our old strategy to be more focused on depth strategy. We call it fewer, bigger, better brands. Hasbro has over 1,500 IP in our portfolio, and we're really going to focus in on about 8 to 10 brands and really grow them. And those brands are going to be in places that we have a lot of strength in the company, gaming being a big one, where we believe we can be the leader in the category, where we can drive above category growth, and where we can drive really nice profit profiles. Both.
Like, I want to interject, like, just throughout this, like, I feel sorry for the other 8 brands or whatever that they're planning on coming after. I mean, improving. I mean, finding more profitability in. They talk very much at the end of this call about D&D, so sorry to all of you people that are playing D&D and this. All right, never mind. Sorry, we'll go.
The mid and long term. The second aspect of the strategy is a focus on the consumer and really doubling down on our consumer insights, on understanding our consumers, and then also how we communicate with our consumers, increasing our A&P budgets, driving new and innovative experiences with consumers, surrounding them with.
Like, that's such, again, I'm trying not to use profanity and stuff, but like, this is just such bullshit. Maybe they haven't done it yet, but they have proven so far that they are, it seems, incapable of communicating with the player base, all right, sorry. I'm going to go back again so that we get this whole thing, but.
The gaming being a big one, where we believe we can be the leader in the category, where we can drive
back too far,
growth, and where we can drive really nice profiles over mid and long term. The second aspect of the strategy is a focus on the consumer, really doubling down on our consumer insights, on understanding our consumers, and then also how we communicate with our consumers, increasing our A&P budgets, driving new and innovative experiences with consumers, surrounding them with a host of engagement options.
I mean, maybe it's going to be easy for them to double down because, 0 times 0 is still going to be 0. They haven't done anything yet. Maybe they're forthcoming and we just don't know it yet. But it won't be hard for them to double it because they've been crap doing it so far.
Opportunities, whether that's big budget movies like we have with the upcoming D&D Honor Among Thieves movies, or great video games like we have with Magic the Gathering Arena. And then last but not least, strategy is a focus.
I cannot believe he uttered that flippin' sentence. Great. Arena's not great. I play it, but it's so frickin' diluted. It's so frickin' ridiculous what they're doing to it, making it Hearthstone and doing other stuff in it. Like, that just pisses me off. Like, I'm ready to put a not safe for work on this and just use all the expletives that I have in my limited vocabulary to share because I can't think of better words or more eloquent ways to say that this is just crap.
Is on discipline. Really driving incremental operational excellence as a company so that we can pair the fantastic creativity and design we have with, stronger cost management. And we believe that we're going to be able to improve value. In October, we talked about a goal to generate $250 to $300 million of cost savings annually. over the next 3 years. We believe we're on track to do that, and potentially even exceed that. And I think that's just business, whether or not it's healthy economic time or more challenging economic time. To position Hasbro to be able to invest in our brands and deliver more cash to shareholders. I think when you put it all together, what Blueprint 2.0 really is it's a redoubling and a refocusing on our traditional mission of play. Hasbro is going to celebrate our 100th anniversary next year. We have this portfolio of amazing brands, and we've built those brands through play, starting as early as the age of 2 to 3 and extending on into adulthood. And Blueprint 2.0 puts our focus squarely on our biggest brands with our best consumer insight and driving a little bit more discipline to pair with our great innovation and creativity.
So, have you read 1984? Are you familiar with the term doublespeak? Because if you are, you just got a whole buttload of it just now. So, I really am trying to keep myself in check, trying not to get carried away with what I have to say here and not be too emotional about it. But it's a game. It's a game. It's something that I've played for the last 30 years, almost since the beginning, off and on and throughout. But it's something that I've invested in. I've invested my time in. I've invested money in. But it's more the time and the element of that I have shared with other people with this game, the friends that I've made because of this game. This is one of the reasons why I'm so passionate about it. And I don't want this just to be me ranting for 5 minutes or however long I cut this down to. But this is just bullshit. This is just, oh man.
Fantastic. That was great for opening, Chris. Thank you. Cynthia, as Chris mentioned, Hasbro is a strong.
We also look at how and why they play. We've seen growth in casual players, who we estimate represent about 80% of the player base, with a competitive player representing the remaining. And this single insight has really led to a major rethinking of our offering and how to.
So I think that's important to note what she just said there. That because 80% of the people play casually, that's been a pivot in the way that they choose to do business and to get money out of people. So I want to stop myself there because I understand that this is a for-profit company. And it's not about the money. It's about so much more than that. Well, all right. So they're going to go on to let me play it.
Serve a growing and more diverse player base. Players and fans participate across multiple segments, and they overlap. For example, in the casual segment, the format that's most popular and played by more than 70% of our players is a social format called Commander. It's played by.
Okay. I want to address that and a shift. I don't know what it is for other people. But I now play Commander because I can't get a decent standard game. I have had to shift my focus. It used to be when sets were coming out less frequently, I would buy more product and I would play the game more regularly, buying more cards to play in standard. They freaking wrecked that for me, leaving me to have to go to Commander because it was a non-rotating format and I didn't have to buy all the cards that they were printing. So they have forced, in my opinion, they have forced the shift to go to Commander. That's something I don't think they're thinking about. I don't know. Maybe they don't care. It's clear they don't care. They only care about the money. Ugh, it's not just that, anyhow.
4 players at a time, and it has a really unique and cooperative rule set. And we do specific products to maximize the game engagement.
Maximize the money.
Half of our players identify as social players, meaning that they enjoy the game for the social experience. And about 50% are collectors of some kind, whether it be buying the cards for a team's commander deck, strictly for aesthetic purposes, or as an outlet for some expression. And about 50% are collectors of some kind, whether it be buying the cards for a team's commander deck, strictly for aesthetic purposes, or as an outlet for self-expression through their gameplay.
I want to say that doesn't feel like a correct number to me. I think, now I don't know what they're judging this by, but I see every player as a collector. And maybe that's me misinterpreting what they mean by that. I had to stop for a second and think about, I do know some players that only buy the decks and don't necessarily buy individual cards to buff them up later and so on. But the idea that only 50% of them are collectors, that seems low to me. I would like them to define the term collector then. Because the rate they're putting out these products, I don't know. I'll leave this point and just move on.
Finally, I'd say we have over 10 million registered digital players with Magic Arena. And in the past few years, our fastest growing category of Magic players were the hybrid players, meaning they play with digital and analog. And this group tends to have the highest satisfaction rates with the game and the highest level of spending. In fact, they spend 40% more than the average revenue of Magic players across all expressions.
That was.
Are they talking about microtransactions? Are they talking about, because even with that, they're working at cross purposes, because by making Arena more Hearthstone-like, I'm losing interest. I'm not going to continue to play. I've already not continued to play at the rate that I have previously. And I can't get a real game. I don't get a Magic game. I play Arena, and what I should be doing, I guess, then, is playing Magic the Gathering Online. I shouldn't be playing Arena. Arena has the snazzy graphics and everything else, but it has this diluted crap formats, such as Alchemy and these other cards that you can never actually see in a game. They have deck sizes that are unlimited, so 250 card stacks. That it's not the game of Magic. It is something else. So I should approach it that way, and other people should too, I guess. So that's on me, right? I don't have to play it. I don't like it. I don't have to play it. I did express this as all being just my opinion. That's why I'm not putting it out there necessarily for everybody. I'm putting it out for everybody to see right now, but I'm not pushing this, video. Anyhow.
Just great. I don't think I've ever heard this much of good color on kind of the player profile, so this was super helpful. Thank you. My next question.
She's never had that much smoke blown up her jacksie. Yeah, they're just, I don't know. I shouldn't make this personal. Sorry.
It's for both Chris. Chris, you were leading Wizards until earlier this year. Could you talk to us about how you do that business? And I think one of the key questions I get on Magic is that after an incredible run of 4 or 5 years of above average growth and Arena rollout, that business is much bigger today. So if you were to recap what's next for Magic and how you grow that business going forward, because every gaming company on investors' minds saw uptick during COVID and now seeing the reversal of that, why could MTG be different, and how you intend to grow that business?
There's a very small word that she said there. Why could that be different? I would argue that they are making moves well, it's obvious they're making moves disconnected from the reality of the boots on the ground, the actual player. Large company, I get it. You have to make decisions and stuff based on what you see coming down the line. But I think there's a huge bottom that's going to drop out of this. And anyhow, so he said how this could continue and how it could affect it. It's not saying it's going to, and in fact, I think it's going to have the exact opposite. I think everything that we've seen with Magic 30th so far has actually proved that, with them closing the sale early and having to pivot on that. That's probably the largest and probably the only time we're going to hear about that or see that, but
going forward.
Sure. So, Magic has been, already one of the biggest success stories in the games category over the last couple of decades. I was fortunate enough to start in business in 2016, after the business had grown, I think, for 7 straight years. We had started to see a little bit of a plateauing in that growth in 2014 and 2015. And so we started to really kind of understand, okay, why was that? And in 2016, when Magic, was probably around $350 million, maybe $400 million at that time, we really had a monolithic view of the player. We thought there was one player, this competitive player. And we knew that there were other player segments that existed, like casual players and collectors. But honestly, we were a little afraid that we built products that deviated at all from our traditional approach of appealing to the competitive player. And what we found was actually the opposite. If we were able to segment our player profiles in just really simple ways, so call it the competitive player, the social player, and the collector, and build products that were bespoke to each of them.
So, you said they have 3 player types: competitive, casual, and the collector. Collector's not a player type, right? Didn't we already discuss the fact that those things overlap? So segmenting out collectors as a specific thing doesn't impact the game, the players of the game. I mean, I guess this goes back to me saying earlier that I wanted a clearer definition as to what a collector is in their mind.
Make the segments happier. We could engage them more. We could get more of their time and more of their share of wallet, and grow the business as a whole. And as a result,
I hear a smile in his voice when he's talking about getting into people's wallets, and that annoys me. I would have liked to have actually seen this. This is just the Zoom call that I'm listening to, basically. Not sure what platform they used or whatever, but I can hear a smile in his voice when he's talking about getting in people's wallets. So I'd like to know. I'd like to know how these people feel. I don't. It doesn't matter. I'd like to know how people at Wizards actually feel. Is it a case of people being trapped in a job where they're being told what to do? They've got somebody with a whip standing behind them, telling them what they're going to do and how they're going to react to these things. I pity Mark Rosewater, the position that he's in. Yeah, and other people too, I'm sure. So that's something else too. Keeping that Wizards separate from Hasbro, from the standpoint of people getting the thumb screws put to them to make more profit. I think they've cut corners to do that, and just anyhow, going on.
Over that intervening 6.5 year period, we probably either tripled or come close to triple the overall Magic business, and we've been able to do it across a wide set of products, a wide set of segments that have made the business healthier than ever, and we've been able to do it in a fair.
Did he just flipping say that the business was healthier than ever? Are you kidding me? Sorry. That's my initial reaction. I don't know what it is on the back end. I don't know what he considers healthy. But Magic is not freaking healthy. It's giving me a heart attack right now. Sorry.
Fairly balanced way where we've been able to balance new player growth with lapsed player reacquisition, because there's probably like close to 60 million people in the world who have ever played Magic. So actually people coming back to Magic is just as important to us as new players who've never played it before, as well as driving a little bit of revenue growth per user through that segmentation approach, which has been good for us and it's been good for our channel partners, whether that's hobby stores, mass stores, or e-commerce partners like IMHO.
Like, I can't even listen to what he's saying right now because I'm thinking about the fact that I am a player that came back to Magic. I never really left it entirely. The only time that I didn't play it was because I was in a position or I was in a place where I didn't have an option to meet, to play other people. I was living out in the sticks and so on. Anyhow, I've got to go back for a second to hear this just because I don't know what we got here.
Studying business healthier than ever. And we've been able to do it in a fairly balanced way, where we've been able to balance new player growth with last player reacquisition, because there's like 60 million people in the world who have ever played Magic. So actually people coming back to Magic is just as important.
People who come back, but then they're immediately getting back out again.
As well as driving a little bit of revenue growth per user through that segmentation approach, which has been good for us and it's been good for our channel partners, whether that's hobby stores, mass stores, or e-commerce partners like IMHO.
Right.
Cynthia,
I don't
second
know,
part.
Cynthia.
Wow, that so that last part, he's talking about Amazon. He's talking about, you know what? It's getting harder for me to find Magic products in the local game stores. They're not ordering as much. It's just what I see. That's not healthy for them. That's not, I don't want to get into specifics, but local game stores where I am at and have some contacts with, and low level, but just listening, like they are disgusted with Magic and disgusted with the amount of revenue they can generate from this product because of things that they're doing, because of Amazon dumps, because of doing away with MSRPs, because of situations and steps that they have taken at Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro to make it less profitable for them, harder to deal with. It's just, I hate the idea too of the people that this is for, the shareholders, that don't have an actual knowledge of the game. I'm taking this all too personally. I get that. I'm sorry. And my opinion is a very small one in an ocean. I get that. But as an investor, not in Hasbro, other stocks, this is just a perfect example, though, of the BS that people will feed you in these meetings about how the company's actually doing. Yeah. Anyhow, sorry.
Yeah.
I want to talk about a little bit about plans to continue for Magic, especially in 2023 and beyond. I'm not saying we have some good tailwinds that are aiding us. And that we are seeing this bold return to in-person play. Magic really thrives on that face-to-face interaction that wasn't able to happen during the pandemic.
That's the tailwind she thinks is getting the players in the seats at the local game stores. Except, like I just said, they're killing the local game store. So what you are projecting and thinking is going to be a tailwind to carry you forward is going to drop you flat on your ass.
Our in-store play participation numbers are trending up, and they're already back to about 75% of where they were pre-pandemic. We recently organized the largest ever in-person event in Magic's history. We had over 10,000 players gather in person in Las Vegas to kick off our 30th anniversary celebration. It was such an encouraging and fun fan event. And we plan on having 4 more of those MagicCon next year. Our first one will be in Philadelphia on February 17th and 19th. We've been releasing 6 tentpole sets for several years. We'll do that again in 2023. With our new player acquisition strategy, focus on the universes beyond line. This year we have The Lord of the Rings as a big tentpole release, and we also have smaller sets like Doctor Who that will attract new players. In future years, you'll see us do the same with Final Fantasy and Assassin's Creed, which will join the franchise. And of course, we'll be celebrating that.
I don't know. Are you interested in seeing all these other IPs introduced into Magic? I'm not. Personal opinion again. I get that. But it's diluting the brand. Like, why are you doing this? You've got a rich history and lore already in place. Why not dive deeper into that? Why not build upon that? Is it because you're going to have to pay the artist? You're going to have to pay the talent that comes up with that stuff, that actually weaves that? Is it just easier? I mean, I get it. They're going to do cross-promotion. They're going to do Transformers. They're doing D&D. They're doing whatever. But at the risk of diluting the game, it's just stupid.
We'll be releasing new products, and we're especially excited about our trainers and our fans by offering exclusive promo cards from each year of Magic that will be available exclusively through our Wizards Play Network stores with every tentpole set release. You know, Magic is...
You're helping them?
It's on pace to become Hasbro's first billion-dollar brand. And our surveys...
Honestly, like, I'm caring less and less what cards are out there. And it's now becoming confusing as far as putting old artwork. For example, the 30th anniversary stuff. They've put old artwork of cards on tokens. That's making things better. This is just stupid. This whole thing is just stupid. But my reaction to it is probably stupid too. I get that.
So that has increased to the highest point it's been at in the past 4 years.
Thank you. That's very helpful. So maybe this is a question for you regarding Arena, which has been obviously a huge success. I remember back in the day before MTG digitization, the big pushback and concern for investors was whether it was going to be cannibalization of that business once you go digital. And now we know it's actually additive to the business. But my question is there more to do in terms of monetizing kind of the digital aspects of the Magic franchise?
Absolutely. You know, as I mentioned earlier, our hybrid players are the most engaged and they spend the most. So our efforts around Magic Digital will drive increased play and integration across both tabletop and our digital platforms. Yeah.
That's what they may see throughout, but that's not where I'm going. I am leaning more and more towards getting out of arena play. I'm still putting things on this channel, obviously, but already I've said, and I've stopped playing nearly the amount that I used to play, and I'm not spending the amount that I used to on this, even with the free-to-play stuff. It's not worth it. As they bastardize the game more, as they make it more Hearthstone-ish, I'm losing interest. And I will probably just continue to play paper, and that's it. Anyhow, she thinks she's going to have success with the rest of it? Sure.
But Wizards Play Network stores are telling us that they see new players coming into their store who are ready to join that community after they learn to play Magic on Arena. Magic together.
So the problem is they've learned to play on Arena. They have not learned the game of Magic, if that's your only exposure to it. Again, you at least have to be able to shuffle your cards. You can't walk in with a stack of 260 cards and say, oh, this is my deck. First of all, everybody's going to hate you because you can't shuffle that. They'd have to wait for you. And you got cards in Arena that do things that are impossible in real life. It blows my mind the disconnect that these people have from boots on the ground. Whatever.
Arena has been a great success for us, but it still has room to grow as we continue to invest to meet the needs of that.
Challenge that we've had is there's just been a lot of cost build up inside of the general paper market. Paper pulp is more expensive, significantly more expensive than it's been over the last couple of years. And the general trading card market, whether it's kind of fantasy or gamified trading cards like Magic, or more sports-oriented trading cards, have seen explosive growth. So there's a fair amount of printing press demand that drives up some cost pressures.
I can't imagine that anything to do with the printing process makes those proxy cards $1,000 a box. Yeah, I just, two separate things. I shouldn't be comparing apples to oranges.
Now, all that said, when we look at how we think about growing Magic,
I was going to say, they're not for you, they're for the collectors.
You're going to make my head explode.
Okay, sorry.
That's okay.
They're not for you.
Exactly. Maybe these products just aren't for you. That's just, oh my gosh. Anyhow, so yeah, it's become more expensive to print the cardboard. Now it costs 12 cents instead of 10. Anyhow.
Cynthia would be the expert at this, but I don't think it's about raising prices on Magic cards or raising prices on Magic packs. At the end of the day, it's about growing our player base, and it's about leaning into our segmentation strategy and adding products that our players want and have a lot of play value and collector's value. I think Cynthia and the team have been doing a very good job. Certainly got some context from the company driving force.
Great, and that's actually a good time for Cynthia, which is, releasing prize. Are you releasing them here? Are you sort of go through pillars of growth?